Hi guys, welcome to this episode. Today I'm going to do a demonstration of this Canon 250D. This is a mid-range camera. Retails for about £600 in the UK. It's got an 18 to 55mm lens on it, so it's a pretty decent camera. Lens, to take the lens off, you basically click on this icon here, pull it in, push it through, and your lens will pop out like this. Okay, when you want to put the lens back in, all you do is you basically marry up the dot. So there's a dot on this camera, okay, which is over here, located here. So just put the dot to the camera and then just turn it clockwise, I think it is, and then you'll hear a click and your camera will snap back into gear. So to switch it on, there's a little switch button, so switch it on, okay, and your camera will come on. And once you switch your camera on, you've got down here your slots for your HDMI. So if I just open this up, you've got your HDMI connectivity. So all that stuff is available here. So if you want to attach HDMI, you can do. Your battery is below, so it uses I think it's a lithium battery. So you just click on there and your battery will pop out. I find this is quite taut, this one. It's not as flush as other cameras that I've had in the past, so you do have to kind of nudge it in. And your SD card slot is just there as well. So if you want to put your SD card, your SD cards go basically here. Okay, put it back in, and you're ready to go. So this camera is touchscreen, so you can literally get your LCD screen out, rotate it, pivot it however you wish in order to take your pictures. Okay, so in order to use the touchscreen, there's a little Q button, so you have to click on the Q button and then it will go into your settings, and then you can control your settings via that. So your flash, you can put your flash on auto or on normal. So at the moment I am in auto mode, okay, on this camera, so it is on auto mode at the moment. And if I sort of hover it on the auto modes, if I go back, you've not got much options. You've got your drive mode, which is basically if you do sports photography, for example, you might want to put it in continuous burst mode, or you have your one shot mode. So that's basically it, to tell you the truth, in terms of that. If you go back, you've got your built-in flash and your creative modes where you can add filters, soft light, etc., which are all in there as well. And as you can see, it's all touch screen, so you can literally just flick through this like so, and it is quite nice and seamless to use when you're flicking through it. If you want to view pictures, you click on that one there, and if you want to delete, you click on this button and it will delete your pictures that you've got available. This button here allows you to zoom into stuff, so you can zoom into things. Sorry, no, I got the wrong button. That button there with the asterisk allows you to zoom in. This button here is basically your focal points. So you can literally flick through these focal points to get what you want to capture. So for example, if you are taking a picture and you want to quickly go to your focal points, click on that and you can flick through these icons to focus. So for example, if you're doing a portrait and someone's sitting in the middle, you would select that one. Or if you want the person on the left or the right to be focused, you would do that and just press set. Okay, this if you click on this button here, again, the selection tool button, the focus button, and if you click on the Q set button, it will select all of them. Okay, now this is useful because if you want to auto select, it will select certain objects by half clicking on the release button, which is over here. Okay, so really nice feature. So again, if I go back to the front of this camera as well, and I click on, well, I take it to manual mode. Okay, so manual mode. So it's all in manual mode, and I go back to the beginning and click on this Q button again. Okay, this camera is touchscreen, like I said to you, and you can click on your icons like this and hover through your shutter speed, your aperture, and you can literally flick through it like this, which is really useful. Your ISO, for example. You can flick through your ISO. So obviously, you know, if you've been using cameras, your ISO, your aperture, and your shutter are the main key things for your cameras, and everything else is kind of like add-ons or things to improve your photographs in specific ways. So if you click on the Q button, for example, you've got autofocus. So you can have tracking. So if you, for example, you've got objects that are moving, you can track it. You've got spot AF. So for example, if you want to focus on a specific object, but you want to also get the outer area of your area, you would select this one. And this one is basically your, so if I go back to Q button, go back to this icon here, 1-point focus. So 1-point focus is really good if you want to capture one person in shot, okay? And zone focus is good for like group photos, for example, okay? You got your file size over here. So you got medium, you got small. So I always shoot in sort of medium, to tell you the truth, especially if I'm shooting outdoors and loads of pictures. So you know you want to get as many as you want in, but you know if you're shooting larger, you're shooting raw. So if you for example go down the raw route and select raw, then obviously it's going to, you know, have a lot more detail in those photographs. Usually raw photographs are better for studio photographs, so stick with that. Don't sort of kind of use raw for outdoor shots, because that's not going to help you in any way. Okay, so if I go back to Q button, again, so I'm in manual mode and I'm doing all the touchscreen settings via the manual settings, okay? So you've got metering, so you know you've got spot metering if you want to use that. You've got one shot, AI server mode, you've got your file size, so you know most people shoot 16:9, you can do shoot by 4:3 if you've got an old square telly, for example, but most people will shoot by 16:9, and that's what I would recommend you as well, or but one, or for example, yeah, 16:9 to tell you the truth. What else? What else? Your white balance. So this little icon here is your white balance. So if you click on your white balance, you can change your white balance to tungsten, cloudy. So for example, rule of third, if you're shooting outdoors and it's a cloudy day, you might want to select cloudy. If you're shooting on a sunny day, you might want to press the sunny icon. So you know, it depends on what you're shooting and when you're shooting, etc. So if I turn the camera back around again, okay. So it is on, it's on manual mode. You've also got film mode, so if you put it on film mode, and again if I take your camera back around again, you can still control some of those features I've just discussed, like for example your shutter, okay? And the reason why it's dark is because my camera's sitting on a white piece of paper, so therefore you cannot see anything. But if I bring it forward, you can see that there is a bit more light, because obviously if I put my camera, there's no light being filtered to the sensor. So you can change your aperture as well via the touchscreen, and you can also change your ISO as well. So some people have been posting, how do I do aperture and shutter speed and focusing? Well, your focus is obviously, I've set it to AF focus, autofocus. So wherever I click on my screen, it will focus. So if I go back, sorry, and click on this icon here, I've got it at autofocus paused, and if I click on that again, it's resumed. So wherever I click, so for example, if I've got an object here and I've got an object there and I click here, that object in the beginning will focus more in focus. So just bear that in mind. I have got an 18 to 55 mm lens on this, and you can have focal ranges with this with your autofocus, okay? You can zoom in, okay? So you can zoom in and you can pan it around like this with this wheel. So you can pan it around, or you can sort of move it around on your screen like this, and you can see there's a little icon here. So when you move it around, so if you've got a picture on there, if you move it around, you'll see this little icon move around, which is really cool. Okay. Yeah, so it's a pretty decent camera, guys. I have to admit, it's, you know, it's an mid-range entry-level camera. It retails about £600. And I've filmed with this and I've taken some photographs and I've been happy with the results. You know, it's all about results in the day, isn't it? So yeah, so if you're looking to get a new camera, have a look at this one, see what you think, and you know, go from there. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Any questions, please do post. I think I've covered a few things that people have been posting about, like focusing and touchscreen features that people have been posting me questions about. So hopefully that's helped you. And if you've got any questions, please do post. Thank you guys. Bye.